Bye-bye.
Interlock. That is, you interlock the two.
Now stretch them quite as...
Soccer. And the...
Quiet, please. In exactly 15 seconds, we'll be on the air.
I felt like a reptile. Like a reptile. I felt like a reptile.
Hello. You good?
Yep.
Are we rolling?
Yeah, we are.
Good. Hello and welcome to Full Reptile Radio, episode 9. How you doing, man?
Yeah, all good, man. How are you doing?
Yeah, really good. Really good. You got lots to tell me about the PFL, right?
Yeah. So, I was there at the weekend. Yeah, it was great.
Nice. We had the PFL.
These headphones are really weird, man.
What is it? So you got some new Sony noise cancelling?
Yeah, but I don't know if it's like picking up because you can turn off the noise cancelling.
Ambience.
Yeah, so I can hear outside.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's got little speakers on the side here, so it picks up. You know, if you're walking down the street,
yeah,
you can hear people. You know, so you don't get run over or whatever.
Which is good. I nearly ran a kid over the other day. Just walked straight onto the street on a phone. I'm like, you doing, man? You're gonna get by a car. I sound like a proper old man. And both my girls were in the car, and I was like, "The fuck!" And she's just like, man. And the thing is, if I'd have hit her, it would have been her fault.
Yeah.
But I'd have felt pretty bad.
So many people do it, just walk out.
Mate.
You can predict it though when...
You can see it a mile off.
Like as you turn into a junction.
Yeah.
Just that slow walk up to the curb.
Kids on bikes, kids on scooters, and kids on phone terrify me. Because the problem is, when you're driving, obviously you're in control, but it's a killer machine. Like, it doesn't take a lot to just, like if some kid comes off a bike or something, so you're constantly aware. But then when you put like a massive distraction in it, like headphones. Now I can remember when I used to ride motorbikes on the road, I had a pair of headphones inside my helmet. And I did it for about 3 days and then I crashed.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
I wouldn't wear headphones for some. I've often thought, because you can buy the helmets with speakers.
With the comms,
inbuilt.
Yeah. So that's slightly different. I mean, I had headphones pushed into my ears, listening to music on a Walkman, listening to the greatest rap album in the world ever, which is like 5 on it by Loonies and Regulate and stuff. So I'm listening to that while I'm riding my bike, and literally, I can't remember what happened, but I had a big crash, and I was like, something's telling me don't do that. But no, the only experience I've recently, well, a couple of years ago, Stace bought me a pair of noise cancelling because I went to my brother-in-law's and he's a massive tech geek.
Yeah.
He's like, before things are out, he's already got like a PlayStation 7 and he's got his fingers in all the pies, do you know what I mean? And he's got twins. And he came over to me and was like, best thing I ever bought. And passed me these headphones, which were those ones. And I literally couldn't hear a thing. And he's got a dog running about going mad. He's got 2 kids running about squealing. He's got his missus. And he just sat there in place.
Yeah.
And he was like, this is the best thing I ever bought. And I thought, it probably is. But at the same time, you're heading for divorce. That's not, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, fair play to him, man. He's stuck with it. He lives in his noise cancellers.
Yeah, these are... It's odd because I have had noise cancelling ones before, but these are like super, super noise cancelling.
Yeah.
And they sound really good.
Yeah.
I listened to a Deftones album on them yesterday.
Mate, it's when you feel like different areas of bass and different...
Yeah, it's got that like 360 reality sound or something. Yeah, they're awesome.
Well, I never realised, I mean, I know I've said it before, but we grew up with not a lot. You sort of got what you got. So back in the day, we had the old Walkmans, but like the headphones on a wire with the orange foam, you must have seen them. Proper retro. Yeah. Or when I had my original Game Boy, that came free with a pair of in-ear headphones.
Oh, okay.
It had no rubber bungs. So like if you had kids' ears, which I had, you'd have to sellotape them on. But it was more a case that it wasn't always quality. Like Bose was a thing. Technics was a thing. Like you could buy good stuff, but it wasn't really that we invested in the best. It was like what we could get. And it wasn't until I got older and I had my own money that I could realise, shit, do you know what? There's like better options.
Yeah.
And the first thing that screwed me was Xbox 360. That came out and Stace bought me one. Like complete surprise, bought me this 360. But I had an old CRT TV. So it's plugged in through a SCART. We were playing Ghost Recon which was good, but kind of grainy. There was Halo, there was Rainbow Six, and it was all good. I really got into it.
360 was a good console, yeah.
And it was the first one where like the definition was better, but you had to have the TV to make it better.
Yeah. So yeah, for sure.
So
I tried to explain that to like my folks and stuff, you know. Certain things can't be, like different formats can't be like played, and if you watch it, you need to have something
you
of
need
that
to
era.
immerse. Yeah, exactly. It's like trying to do anything. I plugged in a N64 for my same brother-in-law. He was desperate to play GoldenEye, and I bought it down from the loft. I said, "You won't take this home with you." He was like, no, I can't wait. I had all the joypads, everything ready, plugged it in. He sat there for like 30 seconds. He went, "This is shit." I was like, yeah. And you can remember it for being good, because it was at the time, because there was like 5 of you sat round a little 20-inch telly with a piece of cardboard or like screen perving on each other. But you've got to, you just embrace the memories. But the thing that screwed me with the 360 was, because I got into gaming, I wanted everyone that I knew to get into gaming so we could all join up as a bit of a clan. So I made sure like my father-in-law had one, and then my cousins had one, my brothers had one. And I literally went round and set them all up, because I realised when you were signing up, you had to sign up to Xbox Gold.
Right, yeah.
And obviously everyone's just forked out a couple £100 for this, games and everything. I said, look, there's a hack. If you say you don't want it, they'll give you a month for free. And because the majority of my friends and cousins and family weren't massively tech people, they were like, I don't know what I'm doing. So I had to go around and I individually set up like 11 Xbox 360s with varying degrees of way better tellies than mine. So there I am struggling on hamster wheel internet with a shit picture, and they're like, oh man, look at the butterflies in the background. I'm like, I haven't got a fucking butterfly. I can't see this shit. So that kind of forced me into realise that there's definitely levels in the game. And then the headphones was a similar thing. It was like, obviously, Turtle Beaches came out, you know, for game consoles.
Beaches.
Yeah, so it was like, instead of just having the single ear with a mouthpiece, so you could contact your friends, and
It was like a headset.
it was an over the head, like immersive. I think it had 1,400 speakers in it. There was like, it could make you coffee. It was above and beyond ridiculous. But you plugged it into the back of the telly and the Xbox and something else. I mean, you had like 15 wires coming off this thing. If you tried to walk away or go and get your tea or something while you're plugged in, you got a fucking whiplash.
See, that's why I needed some Bluetooth ones, because I had a really good pair, but they're cable, and you just get up for a
Mate.
forget and like
It's like, you just get the whole whiplash. Yeah. So, I mean, I had them, and it was, you'd literally sit, and it was the most atmospheric thing that you'd hear footsteps. And then you know, oh, someone's behind that wall. It was wicked. But I think the generation we are, we've sort of grown up through technology being discovered and like being perfected a little bit. But then the moves it's made since.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, even to know you can sit on your phone and watch pretty much any film ever made within a couple of seconds. You can stream anything anywhere. You can get any content you want. And it's like, it wasn't that long ago that, I mean, a text would cost you 50 pence. You would put a $5 on your phone. Do you know what I mean? You wouldn't dare touch the internet because it would drain it. But now it's like, everything's accessible, and it's kind of cool. But it's also like, how fucking far does it go?
It gets to a certain point as well, surely, because like when I was in Cory's yesterday buying these, there was like other headphones you could try on as well. So it was like the Beats and then the AirPods Max, which are like 600 quid.
Really?
Yeah, like the new AirPod. Well, they're like overhead, but the Apple version.
Yeah, but that's the Apple. Yeah. It's twice the price of everything.
Well, this is the thing. It's like, because I tried these on, but then when I tried the Beats on, I tried them on. It just, I mean, I wasn't going to buy them, but just,
no, you still want to engage.
I couldn't really tell the difference. Do you know what I mean? And these were like a tenth of the price.
Yeah.
So it must get to a certain point, you know, where like even your ability to hear like certain sounds and like certain frequencies and stuff.
I mean, I think there's levels on levels of everything. I mean, one of my good friends is he's actually a counsellor, but he's probably one of the cleverest people I know. And he got into a real big, not an argument, but like a discussion with someone and he was trying to say to them, look, a good bottle of wine is one that you enjoy.
Yeah.
And they were like, no. Well, there's the hints of this and there's the nose and blah, blah, and all this stuff. And he was like, yo, look, that's fine. But why complicate it?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
don't get me wrong. Like,
if you like a 650 bottle from Tesco,
then that's fine. That's all right. That's the wine that you like. But I think you can sort of look at that across a lot of things, and it's kind of difficult because, like you say, when you think, if I spend more, I get more, but it's not always the case. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't take a lot for you to be let down by a couple of things. I mean, I've been Apple heavy for the past 15 years, and I love the fact that it all links together, and I love that it works in sync with everything I'm doing. But they do stupid things.
Yeah.
But then they double down on stupid. I'm going to take the headphone jack out. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that, because my iPhone might be new, but my car's not. And now I wanted to plug it in, and I don't want to carry one of those stupid little fucking losable dongles about. So yeah, it's just, I don't know, man. There's a lot of stuff that I suppose we have to learn as we go. But
yeah.
At least you've got the best headphones you can get for the time being.
Yeah, they're really good. Really good. Sound great.
Yeah, they look good.
We haven't actually really introduced the show, have we?
Have we not?
No.
I'm sure I said hello and welcome.
Did you?
Yeah.
To episode 9 for
Episode
Reptile?
9 for Reptile,
Okay.
yeah. And then I said,
Sorry,
you zoned out because I've been talking to you about tech for 10 minutes. People are
no,
always
it's
switched off.
These headphones freak me out.
Is that what it is?
Because everything's just, immersed.
Does it feel like one of them phone calls? You know, when you're in a bit of a bad reception and you can hear yourself back?
A little bit, but usually when I've got like those headphones on, or the ones I was previously using, you can hear like outside still more. This is like totally.
Okay.
Yeah, they're really good.
So you're in a zone.
Yeah.
It's going to help you sleep. It's good, man. It's good. So did you get to watch the UFC at the weekend?
So I haven't watched all of it, I'll be honest.
Okay.
I've watched some highlights. I saw the CJ Vergara fight versus the fight of the night.
The first fight of the night. Andy got the fight of the night.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, CJ, was it the first fight?
Yeah.
CJ Vergara.
Not the first, but you know, on
We
the
haven't actually got the card. I'll bring it up.
It was the first prelim on the BT app. I know there was always a couple before.
Yeah. So it's second fight of the night. Yeah, because CJ Vergara's San Antonio based as well. So
yeah,
big crowd.
Huge
for him. Yeah, it was awesome.
Mate, it was such
crazy.
A good fight.
Yeah, it was a great fight because obviously Daniel De Silva almost finished him in the first round
so many times.
Yeah, he was like running away.
But that's it, and it's like, when does the ref step in? Because you can't be actively running away, but he's trying to get his wits about him, and at the same time, it wasn't like De Silva wasn't trying to take his head off. I mean, he caught him with some ridiculous attack. I mean, there was a one spinning kick where I was like, he's done.
Yeah.
But he just, I don't know. I mean, he dug down deep, man. It was an impressive win, and I'm glad they got fight of the night because it was.
Yeah, no, he looked, when he came out in the second, I think Daniel De Silva just kind of exhausted himself a bit, I think. And Vergara was tough, came back. Yeah, really good fight.
And I suppose with the thing is as well, you don't know when De Silva came across, where he normally trains. Obviously, he's Brazilian. Like, your gas tank is a certain size, but obviously when you take into it the climate change, the just getting acclimated.
Yeah.
And when you low down on the card.
Well, I think the thing is as well, when you're that close to finishing someone, it doesn't happen.
You spunk your load.
You do, because, one more shot, one more deadly shot could have finished that fight. But fair play to Vergara.
Yeah, well, I think the anticipation or like even anxiety of it, when you are putting everything into something, an adrenaline dump is real. I mean, I've done it. I was taking, this is random, I know, but that's what we do. I was taking a concrete post out of my garden, and I was full tilt going for it, really going for it, smashing this thing. And then all of a sudden, like, my arms just went, nope. And I went from being fully capable to just being like there was nothing there. And it's dead easy to sit and watch a fight, but like, just get up or just do this or just do that. But fucking hell, man, I challenge anyone to hit a boxing bag, like a heavy bag, for 3 minutes full bollocks.
Oh, yeah.
Just try it.
Yeah.
3 minutes feels like a week and a half.
I remember we did it at the Body Power event a couple of years ago, and it was like, see how many punches you can land on the bag in like a minute. And obviously you just going for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, my God, it knackers you out.
It is a whole thing, exhaustion. And then that's when I used to do a lot of jiu-jitsu, there was people that you knew you could beat, but by the time you came to roll with them, you'd got put into such a position that you're like, I just haven't got the energy to get out of this. You're absolutely spent.
That's the thing. I think like when I've grappled and done bits of grappling, if you tense up as well, if you tensed up the whole time, you just exhaust yourself straight away.
Yeah.
You got to be super relaxed in there,
Tensing,
as well as smart and on the ball.
You're trying to be reactive to what someone is, because obviously they're setting traps all the time, and it's trying to send you one way to go the other and all the rest of it. But being tense is almost like having a hole in your petrol tank.
Yeah,
because you're just forcing out this energy that, like, I've seen some real good jiu-jitsu players just seem so loosey-goosey and so fluid, and they're just kind of not even reacting, not giving the opponent any sort of idea of how they're feeling. And then before you know it, they pop into something like, holy fucking shit. But it's push when they pull and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
It's
you got to be
impressive,
able to understand like where people put their body weight and like pressure and stuff, so you can counteract it.
Well, that's why I always think the grappling is always fascinating. You know, when you see someone, I mean, we've spoken about it before, and it's difficult because people like knockouts. But when you see someone being able to effectively avoid, like even Leon the other week against Usman, to be able to get back up. Like if we go back to UFC 60, UFC 70, UFC 80, the era of ground and pound then was, I'm going to hold you on the floor. Like Chael Sonnen held Anderson Silva down for 4.5 rounds. Yeah, he was advancing and he was making attacks, but it was essentially, it was a nullifying thing that he was doing to Anderson. And because obviously everyone was so used to Anderson being this dynamic striker, it was a big thing. Whereas now, the amount of times you see people get back up, you're like, how the fuck? And if you listen to the commentators, a lot of times they will break it down to say, right, he needs to scoot his hips back to the fence, and that's because he can use his back to walk up the fence or whatever it is. Or look, he's holding his ankles because now the guy can't stand up straight. It's these,
unless you're Derek Lewis, you just get up,
mate. You're not stopping fucking Derek Lewis getting up. And I think that's the impressive thing. Like Chuck kind of brought it in with his wrestling in reverse because he had great wrestling,
takedown defense,
but he used it as a takedown. I mean, the first fight with Randy, he was caught on his heels, but he made adjustments. And I suppose it's the game that's always evolving. It's always moving.
Have you seen Alex Pereira's been working with Chuck Liddell?
Dude.
I've seen a video of Chuck and Glover like showing him some like wrestling head position stuff.
Mate. And the thing is, that's Chuck in his best because there's no threat of him being hit. There's no attack. It's just him imparting knowledge. And regardless of whatever era he was in, if it wasn't necessarily the oblique kick era or it was the whatever era, it was more a case that he's got an element that he can like compartmentalize and section and give to Pereira to be like, look, walking backwards like this is a good thing.
Yeah,
and he's like, okay.
Yeah.
And he can add that. Same as the Glover thing. They've got so many years of experience that it might just be one of those little bits. A bit like Jack Shaw the other week when his dad was like, look, I've seen this.
Yeah.
Jack didn't see
We've been
it.
practicing this.
Yeah. And he just said, do that. And he was like, oh, no worries. Mm-hmm. And I think...
Yeah, you've got it in the cabinet to pull out.
Exactly.
If you need to.
Yeah.
You just got to... Yeah, you got to figure out, or at least have someone there to be like, do this.
Without a doubt. And you look at how many times we record these and the amount of things we forget. We'll be sat in the kitchen having a brew or something going, we never said this, or, oh shit, we haven't taken that picture. Or, it's little things. But I suppose in the fight game, those little things could mean everything.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because it could go so different. Like the whole thing with Vergara, it felt like the crowd had just... You remember on wrestling when the Ultimate Warrior used to come out, or Hulk Hogan was getting beaten and he started shaking his head. And like the bad guy, the heel, would be like, oh, what's happening? And Hulk's like... And he's smashing him in the head with whatever and he's just shaking his head like... And as a kid, you're like... Oh, he's drawing the crowd. He's getting his power. And then he's sort of like a superhero, just shook his head and then next minute would leather him. And it kind of felt like that's how it worked out for him.
Yeah,
like you say, with him taking that and getting a minute out of it, and obviously De Silva just completely exhausted himself. It made for an incredible fight.
Yeah, it was as I said, I haven't really watched much of the card. I saw Maycee Barber, Andrea Lee.
You saw that? What? How did you score that?
It was tough. I think Maycee Barber probably did take it. It was, I don't know. What did you think?
I thought Lee.
Yeah?
Yeah. And at the time, I mean, because I went with Maycee Barber for the pick when we did a little pick thing.
See, I've only seen highlights, so I haven't watched like pretty much, the whole fight through.
Yeah, I mean, it was close, but I thought Lee was closer to the nod.
Well, this is a thing, like a lot of people have been talking about it since the weekend, as the judging on the card as well.
So what have they been saying? So I haven't heard this yet.
I think obviously the biggest talking point was the main event, because one of the judges scored it for Marlon. Was it 49-48?
In what world?
Yeah.
And I think even Marlon would have been like, the fuck are you talking about, man? And what spun me out at one point, because it was a big thing that we used to listen, that if Cecil Peoples was judging, he was an old judge. It's like saying, and the third judge is Owen's dog.
Should we see if we can bring up the scorecard?
Yeah, you can do. But so Cecil was not really someone that you could rely on. Do you know what I mean? And when they were reading the judges' names out, Dan Mergliata was a judge.
Yeah.
But he was also reffing on that night.
Yeah. I was watching Ariel's show, and they were saying that the last time he judged the fight was like 2000 or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I know there was a bit of controversy with Dan Mergliata before. Was it MVP that was saying that he felt like he'd been treated badly in like a racial way because of Dan Mergliata?
Oh, that was when he was reffing a fight, was reffing MVP fight.
But I suppose, I'm not saying he is racist, but if you have got that point of view, then that will transition into if you're going shopping, if you're reffing, if you're judging. Like it seemed strange that he was doing two things on one night, which it might just be a normal thing. I mean, I don't know. But what we got?
Just trying to get up the scorecard for Marlon Vera.
Okay.
And Cory. That's not it, is it?
Sol Diamato, Gino Garcia, and Chris Lee.
Oh, is this that? Oh, this is the whole. Here we go.
Just press back.
Fuck's sake.
Sorry about
Apologies.
this. I took you all the way back.
Jesus Christ, come on.
Okay, we've got this,
I hate
Jamie.
using it on this.
On the fly?
Yeah. Oh my God, what is happening?
Okay, so what we're saying about the judges' cards is that, as always, it's difficult to leave it in the judges'
Here
hands.
it is anyway. I mean, it's if you can't see it, I'll put it big on the screen or something. But yeah, who was it?
So who gave it to Marlon?
So Joel Ojeda gave it to Marlon.
I couldn't see it. I
Yeah,
mean,
48-47.
Sandhagen looked... The thing is, Sandhagen looked
Well, everyone was
as you'd
saying
expect.
it was like a 5-0,
without a doubt.
5-0 fight.
Yeah, and Marlon just didn't seem... And we've seen this so many times. And we've spoke about it before, about you don't know where the fighter's head's at, because ultimately there's a 3-month training window that is easy to facilitate. You can be there, you can train, but you've got, at this case, 25 minutes, and it just depends what's happened in that day. Anything can rattle you. Anything. There could be a reason behind any little thing. And unfortunately, you know what it's like. You could get to work in the morning and get there and be like, by dinner time, you think, I've just felt shit all day. No one's done anything. It's just one of those things. But you can then try and shake it off, and you've got another rest of the day to try and get yourself out of it.
Yeah.
Once that 25 minutes is gone, it's not like a video game that you can press pause, restart, and do it again. Like Marlon was ranked 3 and Sandhagen's 5. So Marlon going into this is already a well-respected, higher ranking opponent that you think, this is going to be a banger. Like when I saw Vergara versus De Silva, I was like, this is fight of the night all day. And I thought to myself, do you know what? We have got Nate on there, and we have got Cory Sandhagen and Cheeto. So I kind of felt for them, because I was like, yeah, as much as it was an amazing fight, it's not going to be on fresh in the mind when it comes to paying out the bonuses. But obviously, I mean, Sandhagen looked dynamite.
Yeah. Did you not think much to the fight then overall?
Mate, the thing is, he didn't finish Marlon. And there was I was more interested in what Perillo was trying to say to him to G him up to get him back into the fight, because I was more fascinated about what the fuck is going on. Like, this isn't the Cheeto we know. Like, we've seen him go out there and prove a point. Like, he's so proud of his heritage and everything, and he always seems to bring it. Like, when it was O'Malley, he was stoic in the fact that, look, no, fuck you, I'm the man, and you're overlooking me. But because Sandhagen was being as good as he normally is, we didn't see a real test, because it wasn't like Cheeto was firing normal. Does that make sense? So the fact he didn't get finished was impressive. The fact that Sandhagen couldn't take him out of there was all right. But there was a couple of shining light moments that you were like, he's coming back. Because I don't care who the fighters are. If you get a one-sided fight that when someone looks like they're coming back into it, it's always super exciting. Do you know what I mean? So the fact that he found little pockets, I was like, oh, it's there.
Yeah, I think he just left it a bit late to get back into it, really, because Cory, just started off fast and, like, you know, kind of won the fight before the last 2 rounds, I think. Yeah,
but he made adjustments. So in the first round, he was taken down and dominated. And obviously Sandhagen was getting through with some shots and all the rest of it. But it was more the case that when he got back and Perillo was like, dude, are you good? Is everything all right? Like, talk to me. And then he kind of was saying, look, trying to avoid the takedown, obviously, but he was giving him more instruction, and it was good, clear instruction. And then after the 4th, where he was looking a little bit better, not saying he looked like he was going to win, was it 3rd or 4th? Then in the last round, he said, listen, take him back with a straight and loop round. If he's coming this way, do it with your left and follow with the right. If he comes the other way, like jab with your right, loop with the left. And you could see that it sort of engaged Marlon. You could see it in his eyes, and I was like, fucking hell, man, this is going to be a proper knock this last round. And obviously Cory knew that he was up on the cards, but the problem is, as we saw with the judges' scorecards, you can never fucking guarantee it. And I think, it was a strange one. It was a strange one.
Yeah. As I said, it was a highly talked about debate, because there was some other, I think they were just a bit disappointed. Well, fans and media are a bit disappointed with, like, the judging throughout the whole card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
there was some, I don't know what it was, but, like, there was a referee that it was on, like, a local show, I think.
Right.
Like, left, like, an arm bar. Like, some guy got knocked out, and I think the guy put on an arm bar, and it was like, just like, everyone was just like, stop the fight, stop the fight. And I think
Imagine he was saying that.
Yeah, I think he was judging the UFC the next day or something like that.
What are you doing,
I don't know the full details or whatever, but yeah, I saw it on YouTube.
Well, I honestly think that the stable of fighters that we have since '93, you've got people like Rich Franklin, who is a maths teacher, who is an educated dude. I'm not saying that all fighters aren't, because obviously they clearly know their craft, but there are certain people that you would immediately think, this guy needs to be associated with this. There needs to be better.
Yeah.
And when the UFC will invest in the PI and all the rest of it, I know obviously they can't buy refs and they don't buy judges, but surely there's a way to facilitate something to make sure that the people that are watching it understand it.
There should be as much investment in, like, the officiating of it than there is in, like, the development of the actual athletes. Like,
yeah, for real.
Because that's just as important, just purely because of the fighter's safety, like when they're fighting.
Yeah, or there's the press conference after. I mean, we spoke about this before with refs, that, look, you make a decision that affects a fighter ultimately, and if it could be the wrong one or the right one, there's not a problem with you sitting there and having a conversation, because, look, we all make mistakes, and in the heat of the moment, and especially MMA, it could be a split-second thing. Do you know what I mean? So it's not always that you sat there for a bollocking, but you are sat there to, like, go, look, this is how I saw it, this is what was happening. And if someone goes, yeah, but what about? You go, look, I didn't see that. Do you know what I mean? It's like with the cage grabbing and the nut kicking. And even if it was when it was the, when it was the UFC London and there was a lot of cage grabbing and stuff like that, obviously what they were doing was not resetting them in the position they were in because they were taking a point. But it was down to the commentating team to explain that to the layman. Whereas realistically, it'd be nice to just have some accountability for each bit, because the problem is when a referee seems to be under fire, it's almost like we're just going after him. It's like, no, it affects people. And in any job in the world, if you fuck up, you're accountable and you have to go and speak to someone and you go, look, okay, but you can't learn without experience. So I think the fact that Dan Mergliotto was a judge, he's obviously got vast experience of watching fights or being in there. So I don't see it as a big problem, but he just struck me as odd that he was judging and reffing. I mean, I don't know even if that's got any sort of negative connotation.
He wasn't judging and reffing on the UFC card though, was he?
Yeah. So at one point he was a judge.
Oh, really?
And then he was in the... Yeah, I'm sure he was. I mean, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure at the time I mental noted it and thought, that's fucking weird.
Yeah. I know that he was judging because I heard Ariel talking about it.
Are there judges on here? That he used to be on. He used to say who's judging each fight, but if not, it doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah. Referees, Dan Mergliotto. Doesn't have judges, does it? Well, we could just have a look, can't we?
So I'm sure he was refereeing and judging, which it was a bit strange. But like I say, he has got a lot of experience, so it might be that some refs are going to be judges now. And
yeah, so he wasn't judging the main event. He was reffing the main event.
Exactly. So he can't judge and ref, can he? At the same time, he's like, no.
No, I mean, yeah, but which one was he judging on?
Maycee Barber, Andrea Lee, Dan Mergliotto.
Yeah. Yeah, that is weird. I've never seen that before.
I know. So, well, let us know your thoughts. Let us see if you noticed it or what you thought. I mean, I just thought it just struck me a little bit weird. And I do genuinely think that, I mean, going back to the OG days of Big John, I always respected him as like one of the best refs in the game. And I don't ever think it would be a problem, because even now on his podcast, he will sometimes explain decisions or he will give a point of view, because it's got to be nerve-wracking to be the third person in there, because like I say, it's split second, man. It's so close.
There is, I mean, it's such a hard job to do. Yeah. Like there's so much pressure. I think more so in MMA than any other sport, because like in football, basketball and whatnot,
VAR.
It's not, there is assistance, but also, it's not trivial to someone having a really bad like injury and like, the after effects.
You're not trading brain cells.
Yeah, a lot more consequence within it. So if they're going to invest money anyway, it should surely be in the officiating and the refs and how they're trained and,
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, you've seen it where people are stopped early. Because even in the
but stopped early is, I mean, if anything, that's being over careful, of course. But like, it's better to be stopped early than
I think
late,
because of the history of like, if you use a fight like Czech Congo versus Pat Barry, do you remember that fight?
No.
So Czech Congo, big 6'6" fucking dude. Pat Barry's short, stocky dude, heavyweight. And Pat Barry had knocked out Czech Congo about 3 times. And literally every time he clipped him, Czech Congo would go a bit further. And then Pat was just swinging for the fences. And literally he gets up, Czech Congo turns around to get up, and Pat Barry goes to hit him, misses, and Czech Congo flatlines him. So it's one of them where you get that massive reaction of like, have you seen that fight? Because that's what sells. That is the social media, the viral talking point of like, did you see that fucking back and forth? Because realistically, Czech Congo probably could have been stopped. But the justification of not stopping it was like, no, he's all right enough to knock him out.
Yeah.
But then Pat Barry, I mean, he went downhill after that. He lost a couple more. And the problem is, you get the excitement, but at the same time, what was the right call? Do you know what I mean? And I suppose if refs are conscious of not making the wrong decision, because, well, sometimes you leave them long enough, they bring this miraculous like recovery, but it's not always the case.
No.
Do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's difficult, man. It is difficult because, like with any job, it's easy to sit back and go, that's shit. but you don't understand it.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
No, for sure.
Interesting to see who else we're going to get as the refs and as the judges, especially.
Yeah, well, another thing that happened that night as well was Alex Perez and Manel Cap, the fight I was looking forward to the most.
Yeah.
Got taken off that. Perez had medical issues. I'm not sure what it was. But yeah, it actually got cancelled during the event as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they announced it on the broadcast that it was going to be.
Well, I don't know what had happened to the BT
But Manel
thing.
Cap came out, like called him like a coward. And
Really?
Yeah, really had a go at him for it. Which, I mean, you know.
It builds for the next one.
Yeah.
I mean,
see that remade.
Well, you'd like to see it, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Well, I was watching the whole event on BT, and obviously you get so I wait till Sunday and I get the replay. So I pressed it, and I was going through all the fights, and the last one was the home versus Santos. No main event. And it was only a couple of weeks ago that we lost the main event, and I was like, oh shit, because obviously I don't go on my phone on Sunday at all. And then I couldn't Google it because I thought, well, if it has happened. So I had to then go into BT and search and find the actual main event.
Was it on BT?
Yeah.
Because I couldn't find it.
Mate, what had happened, BT? What were you doing?
Yeah, I couldn't find it either on BT when I looked.
Yeah, I genuinely, like I say,
I obviously we watch it the next day
Yeah.
usually because it's on at like 4 a.m. here. But
yeah, you can't stay up.
yeah, unless it's like pay-per-views sometimes stay up.
Maybe.
But UFC London was like a godsend. But
Well, yeah, because that was our time.
Yeah.
But it was strange, and I mean, I'm glad I found it. But I was just packing up, ready to go to bed. I was like, all right, it looks like it's done. I'll chase it in the morning because at this point it's like 1:30, 2 o'clock.
yeah.
And then I found out, I was like, why the fuck are you not like on the main thing? So I don't know. Overall, it seems strange, but I'd be
It seemed
interested.
to be one of those cards that was just like purely built around the main event though. Like, so there was only 10 fights on the card anyway. And you know when you have those cards that get like in between the two pay-per-views?
Yeah.
Because it's been quite busy recently.
Yeah, I mean, just to start off, or when we had Vergara versus De Silva, and then you had Landwehr versus Lingo, and there was a lot of the Texas or that side of America sort of following. It was good because obviously Trevin Giles, I mean, he fought a bit of adversity, but he still pulled out the W. Vergara did it for the hometown. So it was looking at one point like it was gathering momentum similar to the UFC London. Do you know what I mean? Whereas the home players were getting a bit of a good reaction. But yeah, I wasn't sure about Barber and Lee. Landwehr looked good.
Yeah,
Looked really
I
good.
thought Njokwani would beat Duraev.
Yeah, I mean, he got caught with a couple of bits, man. And then he got stifled and he got smothered. I mean, it was a decent fight, but it was just a little bit too late. Do you know what I
You
mean?
hear a buzzing noise?
Buzzing, mate.
No,
Can you still hear it?
a little bit. Maybe it's these headphones. I can hear like everything.
I don't know. Maybe we should ring Sony and have a word.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Mr.
Anyways,
Sony.
yeah, sorry about that.
No, you're good. So yeah,
It was a good card. I mean, I was obviously at the PFL.
Yes, talk to me about that.
Instead. Yeah, it was great.
How was that? If we do a compare, like getting up there for UFC, you've been to a lot of events, turning up. There's a lot of signage and fanfare, and the PFL. How is it?
So I wasn't there for the fight week, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, you weren't very well.
I had a coronavirus.
Yeah.
Up until like Thursday. So I went up on Friday, and I went to the event on Saturday. Yeah, it was great. Really cool event. Like big home support for, because it was headlined by Simeon Powell and Dakota DeShaver. There was also Oscar Owensworth on there.
Yeah.
His first fight of the night, he was fighting Lewis Monarch. That was a wicked fight.
Yeah.
And Oscar came out with the split decision. But yeah, it was a great event. Like all the promotion they did and the build up to the throughout fight week was really cool.
Yeah.
They seemed to be like really trying to push the stars out of Europe as well, like Simeon and Dakota especially.
I saw a lot on social, like where there was obviously we follow Dan anyway, but he was at the rugby club.
Yeah, and obviously this was the first event with Dan, of course, as well, and introducing him into the PFL. So yeah, it felt like they were really trying to kind of push that and promote that on socials and stuff like that. But yeah, overall it was a wicked event. Crowd was great, and all the British guys showed out. Yeah.
Yeah, because who's the guy? They were facing off. It was so strange. Obviously, he had his fancy new jacket on, which was nice. I thought, and to be fair, I've seen most of his clothes, and I'd not seen that jacket, so I was quite impressed that he'd snuck that one past me. But it was when he was facing off, and there was a guy. Was it McGrillen?
Oh yeah, James McGrillen.
He was an aggro dude.
Yeah,
man,
he had a great fight.
I kind of like it.
Yeah, he's he had a great finish over. I can't remember his fighting, but yeah,
He just said, "I'm going to knock a 30-year-old dude out." I was like, fucking easy, and he did.
But I think he's only 22. He's really young, like up and coming out of Manchester top team. There's been a lot of like talk about him.
Oh, good.
Over the past, like, you know, in the build up to the fight and stuff. And yeah, he had a great finish because I think his fight got bumped up to Coco main event.
Nice.
And he was a little bit further down on the card before that. So yeah, he seemed to come away with a lot of attention and yeah, really cool.
I was watching some of the socials.
There's some great finishes though throughout the whole card.
But did you notice like some of the socials, like, you know, when you've got normally like a highlight reel of something, you'll get the full screen. This was like Simeon Powell choking someone out, but it was like zoomed right in on their shoulder or something. Like, it was really.
They've got ref cam.
Yeah, it might have been that. So, and I know because obviously you meant to sign up to, is it DAZN?
Yeah.
I don't know if they were like giving you the teaser to make you go over there to watch the thing, but it was
you can switch camera views.
Well, no, I couldn't see it. I couldn't see a lot of what I was looking at.
Right.
If that makes sense. Like, you get to see it, but it wasn't really clear. Like, it wasn't like just a screen. It was like zoomed in a little bit.
Okay.
I don't know if it was just me, but it was nice to see because obviously it was in the UK. So we, like, Saturday evening, you're getting some updates. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the fact that Simeon Powell did it, I mean, he's a big dude, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He is a big guy.
And did I hear Dan say his reach is longer than John Jones?
No, I think they had his reach wrong.
Right.
And he got it because I saw a video of that, and I think he went into the room and Dan was there, and he was saying that his reach was wrong. I think it was registered as like 83 or something.
85 it was registered.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, because isn't John Jones 84?
He's 84.5, I think.
Okay.
Like 84.5. But yeah, and then they measured it again, and it's only 79, I think. I'm pretty sure that's what I saw.
You don't want to be measured and it be that, like 6 inches shorter, man. That's a big fucking difference, isn't it? But, I mean, you know what it's like. How many times have you been doing the Pix graphics? And it's like, I've had some fighters and it'll say they've got 370 wins, 12 defeats. I'm like, someone's put another number in there, surely. That's not quite right. Or like, their reach will be something like 187 inches, and I think, I might need to double check this. I might need to go somewhere else. Someone's gone for millimeters instead.
No, but yeah, Simeon, like I was saying, it wouldn't surprise me if Simeon goes up to heavyweight eventually. Like, he's a big guy.
How old is he?
He's only 20, pretty sure he's quite young. 24.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
He could be my son. He could, like, legit, when he was born, I was 17.
Yeah. That's mad.
No, 18.
I know, same with Dakota as well. She's only 24, I think. Like, two really big, up-and-coming stars,
mate,
in the MMA world.
It's good, though. It's good. And I quite like having the different avenues.
Yeah.
It's
the thing
nice.
is, though, like, these fighters, I think Lewis McGrillen's fought on Cage Warriors previously, or maybe not.
Vida.
Yeah, they're all kind of like, PFL snatched these, like, young fighters up. Like, other than them going to the Cage Warriors, being eventually probably going to the UFC, like, PFL seem to be, snapping up all this talent across Europe, and they're looking really good. And those British fighters came out, and Lewis Lee Scott got he got a crazy head kick knockout as well. That was second fight on the card.
Yeah, I saw that.
He called I don't know who it was, but he called out one of the media members.
Really?
I don't know. So they said he fought nobodies.
Well, he sat next to you.
Well, I was filming, and he was kind of telling it to someone behind me, so I didn't see who it was. But yeah, he called it. He was only kind of joking anyway, but it was funny. And
media is difficult, man.
Yeah. Well, especially if the thing is, everyone hears what you say about.
Yeah, and it's opinion. And the thing is, it's one of them. Like, you never know.
But like, yeah, he looked great, wicked knockout. So hopefully see him go on to, you know, the next European event or whatever.
Even before that, Sam Robinson was looking good. He was kind of putting the pressure on him. It was an intense.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He looked like he was. He looked like a man on a mission. But.
Yeah, and then a lot of other good fights throughout the card as well. I mean, I was in the media room, so I was kind of filming interviews and doing a bit of socials and stuff like that. But yeah, I managed to get out for the last 3 fights. And yeah, Lewis McGrillen looked great. Dakota and Simeon, and Dakota got submission as well, because usually she's, you know, predominantly a striker, kickboxer. So got to show like a different side of her game, and as I said, she looks good like everywhere. Yeah. And same with Simeon as well. You know, most of his highlights are like kind of striking, finishing. Yeah. But for him to get a submission and choke him out on the bell as well, which was pretty cool. It must have such a tight squeeze, because the clappers went and
he was still moving.
Well, the thing is, I think that he put the choke on after the clappers went.
Oh, really?
So he must have only been choking him for about 6-7 seconds.
Yeah, but isn't that a blood choke as opposed to an air choke? Right? It turns up. It's like a tunnel, and it just goes whoop. You know,
okay, it was crazy how quick he was out. Because I thought, the thing is, Mark was reffing, and you could see. I imagine, you know, when the clappers go, you've got 10 seconds. Give him the chance, obviously. But yeah, when Simeon got up after the bell went, and he was just like, "Oh, he's out." But yeah, it was an awesome event, really cool. Looking forward to the next European ones as well.
When's the next one? Dublin.
So the next one is Berlin.
Berlin's next. Okay,
I think that's in June. Yeah.
Okay,
and then the next round, I think when Dakota and Simeon fight again, will be in Paris, which is in September.
Okay,
which is like the next stage of this tournament.
Nice.
And then. Yeah, the playoffs will be in Paris, and then the finals will be in Dublin in December.
It's weird though, isn't it, hearing playoffs and finals? And
I like it. It reminds me of football. It's cool.
Yeah. It's kind of it's slightly different because I'm not used to it. But
no, like everything about like the show and their production, and you know the way they're kind of pushing the fighters as well. You know, trying to build their social you know presence as well.
Well, I think everything PFL from the ground up, because, I mean, the UFC has been around for such a long time that we can't say that everyone has always been treated the best. And I'm not just talking about personal experience. I'm talking about, you've got people like Burt Watson, who is above and beyond one of the nicest guys you can ever meet, and was like dedicated to every single thing UFC. He was the granddad of UFC.
Is he Bellator now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But dismissed in such a real shitty way. Then you had like Stitch Durant, who was the greatest cut man ever. And Dana famously said, me and Stitch were never friends. And you're like, oh, okay. And then like Mike Goldberg, Goldie and Rogan, like, yeah, he might have had his issues, but at the same time, he was there from the beginning.
Yeah.
So,
Dan as well.
I mean, Dan's more recent, and it's still it's kind of a frustration, because the problem is it's not been approached by Dana. It's not been discussed. He has no idea what the fuck was going off, and in my opinion, it's just kind of bad to pass an opinion on something you weren't a part of.
Yeah, because
it's easy to then just be such a negative person towards something that you don't understand, especially then to go and start playing fucking silly fuckers on New Year's Eve. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you got to be really fucking clean to be able to point fingers. But these people still exist. These people are still within the industry. And when you can get a lot of them, like Randy had massive contract disputes and massive issues with the UFC, and was one of the first people to stand out and be like, stop being a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Ken Flo, he had some issues. I mean, BJ Penn had massive contract issues. There was a lot of them that have been real rocky. And ultimately, because the UFC of where they stand, they kind of keep them from going further away. Like they keep them in just long enough. But when you've got, like, I mean, Ray Sefo, who is basically PFL, he's been in the sport long enough, and he's had fighters in every different organisation. He's also fought himself. He's a savvy dude. To know that you've got that as your base, that is your backup, it's fucking brilliant.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I think the standard of fights as well, you know, UFC is obviously seen as the best, you know, it's got the best fighters to fight in the UFC. You are one of the best fighters in the world. But the thing is, the the quality fights on PFL, they're all really talented fighters, and all the fights were delivering as well.
Mate.
The thing, it's just, certain parts of the world where they're not kind of looking for talent and stuff like that, but PFL are with the Europe and like snapping up with the guys like, Dakota and Simeon.
Yeah.
Eventually maybe they will go on to the UFC at some point, maybe in their career, but like I was watching an interview with Dakota she was on Ariel's show, I think, and her current goal is to be the PFL champion, win the $100,000 prize, and then go on to the $1 million prize.
Yeah.
So yeah, they've got they've got really good prospects in there.
Loyalty is important, man. You look at someone like Brendan. Brendan's fighting. Is it this weekend? So Brendan Loughnane was on.
I think it's next weekend. PFL 1. Ooh.
It's April the 1st, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, it's this weekend.
It's April. It's Saturday, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, wicked. That's cool because no UFC this weekend.
Well, I'm sure he was on The Ultimate Fighter. Then he did Contender. Destroyed him. And Dana was like, nah. So obviously then he's moved across. He's had this incredible run and won $1 million and still got the title. Like, how is that sort of a thing? Do you know what I mean? But I can't wait for him to fight again. And he's against Marlon Moraes.
Yeah.
Which before it was really difficult because it was a different categorization of fighters because the UFC seemed to have the top tier, whereas now people seem to be deciding. Like, I'll never forget when Terry was he the double champ for Bama, and he got a contract from the UFC and a contract from Bellator, and he went with Bellator because it was better for him. And I think when you've got that,
better pay. Yeah,
man, competition just makes it better for everyone. Like, it's no good to have a monopoly.
Yeah, well, if a promotion approaches you and makes you an offer where you feel valued, then why wouldn't you take that over? Yeah. I mean, I understand. The thing is with like the UFC, that's I suppose what. Because if you're seen to fight for the UFC, maybe that's worth more, but it's not really, is it?
No, I mean, I think most people that I've seen that have been desperate for that validation and then got it and then realised it wasn't everything they thought it would be. I think, unfortunately, for the majority of people, they have to experience that it wasn't exactly what it was expected. Do you know what I mean? Like the days of years ago when there was 1 or 2 fights a month or 1 a month, it was quite a bit more concentrated and there was quite a bit more doing stuff as like a UFC family to promote what they were doing all the time. And it was like they moved as a big unit, whereas now it is very corporate and a bit shit.
Yeah.
But it's one of them, man. I'm really buzzing for PFL and for it to just kind of take over a little or just be present and be relevant.
Yeah.
Because Bellator's in there. They're having a swing. Obviously, one's having a swing. Like, it's not the old UFC and Pride days. It seems a little bit more like people are choosing now, even like with Ngannou.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, interesting, man. And then, so we've not got anything this weekend, have we?
No, well, PFL.
Yeah, you got Brendan Loughnane.
Yeah, so Brendan Loughnane.
Marlon
Moraes. And let's have a look at that card, actually, because there's a few good fights on that.
It's in Vegas, right?
Yeah.
Your headphones playing up again.
Yeah, they are.
This podcast is not sponsored by Sony.
Yeah, they're all good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I can still hear you, dude.
I'm getting like a weird buzz in this right one. I don't know what it is.
While Jamie's doing that, I can tell you that this podcast is in fact brought to you by Full Reptile and New Shirt. Obviously, we mentioned New Shirt last week. There's a few new designs on there. If you want to jump on and have a look, it's newshirt.co.uk. We've got the headshot graphic. We had a load of orders through, so I appreciate everyone that did that. We got some feedback from New Shirt that they got some orders through. So thank you to everyone for supporting them and obviously supporting Full Reptile because we're still buying our bits and bobs, which is always appreciated. So yeah, that'll kill some time while you're sorting your headphones out, dude.
I think we're good.
You good?
Yeah, just flick your phone on airplane mode because I think it might be.
I thought it was on airplane mode. Sorry, dude.
No, it's all right. Mine's not either. Yeah.
Okay, so what we got?
Yeah, sorry. I'm just going to go through the PFL card.
Yeah, go for it.
Are you not hearing that? Like,
No, I'm not in anything at all, dude. A few moments later.
Yeah, sorry. It's just like weird buzzing in my ear.
Okay, if people can hear that when they're listening back, then you have obviously got younger ears. It might be like that mosquito, they have over shops. They have over shops so kids don't hang around, but if you're over like 17, you can't hear it.
Yeah, the ones that like get rid of cats and stuff.
Cats and children.
Cats and loiterers.
Yeah, cats are a bit of loiterers though, aren't they?
Oh,
Fuckers.
they were good.
Right,
Yeah, so
get us to PFL.
one.
Get us to PFL. There we go. Here we are. So Brendan obviously been training a lot in Thailand.
Yeah.
With
Yeah, I
killers.
was going to say, Thiago Santos making his debut, I think. Got Chris Wade, Bubba Jenkins. That'll be wicked.
Yeah.
Because that's obviously the two guys that Brendan beat to get to the final last year.
Yeah.
Who else is on there? Martin Hamlet, Mohammed
Jotko's on there.
Fakhreddin.
Josh Silvera has got a wonderful mullet.
Jotko and Flory. That'd be good.
So where is it? It's in Vegas, right?
Yeah,
is it on
so
Saturday?
yeah. I think this kicks off the main season, the regular season. So this will be obviously Brendan defending his belt for the first time against Marlon.
So in a season, how does that work? So if Brendan wins,
So I think-
he retains the belt.
So I'm not sure if the belt's on the line. Yeah, featherweight and lightweight. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I think the belts are on the line.
Yes.
But essentially what it is you would fight everyone within your division, I think once or twice, and then by the end of it, there's points and then playoffs. And
So
then
has Brendan
final.
not got the belt?
Yeah, he
Even
has
though
at the minute.
so
So he's the belt holder from last year.
Right, so he's the belt holder. So when he comes across with it and he fights Marlon,
Yeah.
if he beats Marlon, he's still got the belt?
Mm-hmm.
Or he's fighting for the same belt again after doing a round robin?
I couldn't tell you.
That's the, do you know what I
I
mean?
imagine, yeah.
So if Marlon wins,
Yeah.
he's then got the strap, but he still has to fight everyone to justify
Yes.
that he holds the strap.
Yes, I imagine.
So in that time, he could fight Brendan again.
I think that's how it works.
Okay, I need to tune in for him to break it down for me.
Yeah, for sure. But despite that, it'll still be a great fight between Brendan and Marlon.
I'm interested to
there's
see
a lot
Thiago back again.
Yeah. There's a lot of good fights on that card.
But you see, sometimes when people move organisations, it seems to light a bit of a fire.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You know, when you look at Thiago Santos when we were in Vegas and he had that fight with John Jones that essentially it looked like he won.
Yeah.
It was the closest we've ever seen. And from that, he then didn't have the best performances. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was they weren't John Jones beating performances afterwards. But you don't know if that's because he's got to the top of the tree, he's given it everything, essentially won, been told whap, 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 and then had to fucking find motivation again to go,
Yeah.
what the fuck? So yeah, very interesting to see.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. And like
I think
say,
he'll do well in the PFL. He's fighting Rob Wilkinson,
mate,
who is the current
light heavyweight
light
champion.
heavyweight champ.
Well, I think sometimes it just, once you've got a little bit of like an in, so with Moraes and with Santos, because you know them from the UFC, I mean, I don't know if it's inadvertently, but it just puts it to that level.
Sorry, man. Can I just check your headphones a minute? Because these are like... Of
course you can.
like crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the mics or it's my headphones, that's the thing.
Let's see if you can hear it on that, because my ears cannot hear any sort of buzzing. Can you hear the same buzzing through that?
No, it's the headphones.
Okay.
I don't know what fucking buzzing for.
We'll go back to Cory's and have a word with
I
them.
just have to cut this bit out.
We'll have to go and talk to Billy Blue Shirt, won't we?
Hello? Testing? Yeah, that's better.
I'm not cutting any of this out. This is all staying in. People, I need you to comment
it's
on what
these
you were thinking about while
bastard
Jamie
headphones.
was sorting out his fucking headphones. And when you first noticed him looking at his headphones rather than listening to the conversation.
Anyway, where were we?
I could have been talking about DuckTales, raccoons, fucking anything, man.
It was doing my edit. I've turned it off now. It's just, but it's all good.
It is.
We're all good.
Mate, I nearly lost my mind the other day. I was working at home and my youngest at the minute, it's like she's not trying to beatbox. She's just trying to learn the most annoying monotone sound that she can continuously make while she's walking around. And it's like, you're trying to watch TV and she go,
Oh, man.
but over. And I don't go, are you all right, darling? Everything all right? Hey, do you need something? Why are you making that noise? I'm just like, bro. She'll jump and look at me like, what? I'm like, what the fuck? And she go, what? And then Stacey will look at me like, do you have to? I'm like, mate. And the thing is, it's like I've got a rage book and she's flicking the pages of this rage book so hard, just like, hey, Dad, why don't you fucking react to me? And I don't mean to have no fuse, but the problem is, when like a lot of the things we do are time sensitive, or obviously we're a relatively small team. So to be able to do what we do all the time, it's like quite on the fly. Mm-hmm. So sometimes my brain is that mashed up with, I don't know, editing or designing or whatever bits it is, that my fucking fuse is so short that it's just, I don't know, little bits where it's just, it fucking fires me off. Do you know what I mean?
Man, but going back to, you were saying, like in a room and making noise, especially when you're watching something. But we were at PFL the other weekend. I think Veronica was getting an interview, but there was like someone who was like packing away at the same time. But but people had been designated that room to do interviews in. But there was some guy came in and you could tell that he knew they were doing an interview, but his tripod was just like, I was just like, man, everyone was just like staring at him like,
how do you not know?
Realise you're making all this noise? But yeah, some people just don't have a receptor in their brain to realise when they're...
I don't know if they don't, or if they're just ignorant, or what. I mean, if you're one of them people, break it down for me, because for me, I try and be conscious about anyone, but it's like, someone was doing it the other day, and they were just clicking a pen, and they're like, and over and over and over again, and I just had to like, yo, the fuck, man? Or like, when they're just tapping, and like, I shake my leg. When I'm sat, I shake my leg, and it winds Stace off the clock because it shakes the settee. But I'm not, that is just a normal...
Yeah, I do that.
But it's not like it's an audio nuisance. It's more physical, and obviously she tells me, so I stop. But it's like I don't know, I get triggered. I think the older I'm getting, the quicker I'm getting triggered with stupid shit.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just that I'm just like got a little bit of shit to do, or I'm a bit under pressure or whatever. But mate, I don't seem to have a fuse anymore. It just seems to be like
instant.
Shut the fuck up. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, I don't particularly want to be that guy, but I don't know. There's certain noises and just things which are just. It's like someone is trying to get me to react.
What's that condition called when people don't like eating around them?
Misophonia?
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Maybe you've got that.
Maybe. I don't know, like eating and slurping and stuff, it's not like, it's when it's a one constant thing, but I suppose because Libby's only 11, her goal is to fuck with me. So it's not like she's doing it and just going about a day. She's just doing it to fuck with me. And even when she'll come in and Stacey's like, you messing with your dad? And she's like, no. And you think, come on, man. I don't need that. Play the game.
Yeah.
But I have recently got her into some new cartoons I needed to tell you about. Do you remember the raccoons?
No. Raccoons?
Yeah. Bert Raccoon. So there's a raccoon that lived in the evergreen forest, and there was a big billionaire scumbag called Cyril Sneer.
How old is this cartoon?
89?
Oh, yeah.
90s? Early 90s?
Nah, probably a bit before me, maybe.
Mate, I'll play the song for you after this,
mm-hmm.
but if you haven't heard the intro, it was a fucking banger. It was a song called Run With Us by Glitterwolf, and it's a proper banger. So because obviously a lot of cartoons are now shit, I literally sat her down the other day, and because she's still quite manipulative, like she's a bit more pliable because she's only little. Like I say, we'll watch this, and I got her watching DuckTales and raccoons and gummy bears and just stupid shit.
Yeah.
some of the soundtracks from back in the day, though, you know, the music.
Well, like the 80s
Mate.
animated.
If you listen to Mask, I don't suppose you watched Mask either, did
No.
you? You lot did.
Oh, what Mask is in like the Mask?
Mask Crusaders.
Oh, right, no.
No, Mask
Not-
Crusaders.
not the
is
Mask,
Venom.
like
Not the Mask. Somebody
Jim
stop
Carrey,
me.
like,
No. There was a cartoon of that,
Yeah,
and
there
it was
was, yeah.
shit. But
I liked it.
your cartoon eras were shit, man.
Do you reckon?
You had some shit cartoons.
What, like?
Well,
Dexter's Lab,
Yeah.
Powerpuff Girls,
You know, we had the samurai.
Dragon-
We had Samurai Pizza Cats before
Dragon
that.
Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was... I
just
used
a
to
rip off
love
of
Dragon
Pokemon
Ball
with
Z.
people, wasn't it?
Nah. Pokemon was... When was Pokemon?
Pokemon, when did it first come out?
Yeah. It's like 90s, wasn't it?
90, I want to say 96, 97. I'm not sure. I know the full theme tune. I could sing it to you, but you probably don't want to hear that. But yeah, like the original, I think the cartoons, when we had like Mask and G.I. Joe and stuff like that, He-Man, it was such a cool era. But they seemed to put so much into like the music.
Yeah.
And because Libby's in control of the phone now, when we're driving, I drop my eldest off at school, turn around and she gets to be the DJ for a minute. And it's kind of weird because obviously my music is that fucked up and it's that like just from all different genres that she's now choosing all my songs and a mix of her songs. But it's nice. It's nice to pass it on. I think music is probably the best thing to share.
Yeah, of course. A lot of my taste in music probably comes from my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he was a punk.
Okay.
So, well, a bit this besides the punk, but you know, if you're into like rock music, you know, he's into like Jimi Hendrix and like old 60s rock as well.
So what was the soundtrack of your house growing up?
Ramones.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of Ramones. My mum wasn't really into music. Well, I mean, she was, but she was more into like, I guess like 80s pop.
Okay.
Where you could...
So just
class that as-
standard.
Yeah, just like standard.
Wham.
Yeah, but my dad,
Dire Straits.
super punk rock music. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
well-
new waves. Yeah, like Joy Division and whatnot.
Yeah, and I think you kind of find your crew with music. Like I can remember growing up, my dad was all Atlantic soul, and like Eddie Grant, Billy Ocean, Maxi Priest, Kid Creole, all Atlantic soul stuff as well. And then there was like the Bob Marley, and then finding my stepmom's music taste was like Crowded House and Meatloaf and Tina Turner, and like, but really into it. Do you know what I mean? So it was always on. And my mum was more drifters and just normal old soul. But then I found Motown, and when I met Stace, she was massively into Motown and stuff like that. But then I always had a good feel with like ska,
Right,
and,
yeah.
and like so like UB40, ska, reggae, and the thing is, it just kind of mixes. And I think at school, well, I can remember I was listening to Mr. Brownstone by Guns N' Roses. My dad had bought me the album for Christmas, and obviously my mum and dad were split up, so any little thing that they could have to fucking needle at each other was gold. So my dad was like, I'm going to buy Owen this album because it says explicit lyrics and he'll listen to it and it's going to wind her up. And she did. She sat outside my bedroom door. Me and my cousin Ben were listening. I think I've said this before, but on the Brownstone, and goes, that old man, he's a real motherfucker, gonna kick him on down the line. But it didn't swear that much compared to what you hear now.
Yeah.
And so we kept rewinding it, dead excited. And she came in and she was like, have you listened to that enough yet? And all her neck veins were up and she was fucking furious. And I was like, well, no, that's why we keep rewinding it. And then she made sure I knew not to say that again. And it was one of them that the Guns N' Roses thing sort of opened up this whole new world of Guns N' Roses and Chili's, and like you'd start finding albums with the explicit lyric on just to go, I wonder what this motherfucker's saying. And we found Snoop Dogg and all rap and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, I was talking to someone the other day and they were like, what do you do about your kids listening to music with swearing and this and that in it? And I was like, I don't. And I'm not encouraging people to say, oh, make your kids learn all the lyrics to fucking Juicy by Notorious B.I.G. But I think the more that you shelter people from things, the more they'll find their own way to get it. If you can do it in a safe environment. I swear around my kids, but I don't hear them swear. And they know that that's just how I am. I went to a parents' evening the other day. I was talking to Millie's history teacher. And I don't know if you guys have noticed this. You won't have done yet because you haven't had a parents' evening. But when I was at school, it was A minus, A minus, A plus, A star, B, C, D, E, F, ungraded, whatever. Now it's 1 to 9 plus, minus, or equals.
What? So you can get like a 1 equals?
Fuck knows. So this is what spun me out. So thing is, obviously I'm invested
What's
in
the highest grade?
This is what I was trying to say to the guy. And I was saying, look, our ace is high. And he went, what? I said, our ace is high. Like, what's the number? Where am I at for? Is 9 you fucking grounded, or is 9 like, yo, let's go out for pizza? What the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
And because I was talking to him like this, Millie was stood behind me and Stacey sat there, literally didn't even blink. And this guy, I think he was about 22. And obviously I'm sat there, this big grufty fucking beard, and I'm sweating. I'm not swearing at him. I'm just like, dude, I'm invested in my kids. I'm very proud of the fact that they are not a complete fuck up and that they have taken on Stacey's characteristics of actually being able to learn stuff. So gold. But the main thing was, I was like, I want to know that when she gets in, because having a 14-year-old, they don't particularly want to talk to you. But like, let's say the day before, I've spent an hour getting her cooking things ready. She's a big into cooking, so I'm like, right, trying to encourage that, not forcing it, just trying to get it on board to go like, let's do this, let's do that. So I get her all the ingredients, get it all ready, and she'll come in, I'll go, yo, how'd you get on? And she went, I got a 6 plus minus star, fish head, one of them, wigwam. I'm like, what's that? She went, I don't know. And all I wanted to know was, what's a C? Where's acceptable? It's fucked. And yeah, so that was my Tourette's getting me into trouble. But
so how do they... So you don't get an A star, or you don't get an A or a B now? No,
it's either a 1 plus or a 9 plus. I can't remember which one was good, because I was listening, but at the same time, it was an intense thing because of COVID, we hadn't had a parents' evening for like 2.5 years.
Oh, okay.
3 years.
And they changed the whole system in that time.
It was changed before, but because she's had like 3 years of no feedback, I didn't kind of know where we were. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
So it was one of them, man. It was weird, but why change something?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, seemed like a pretty good way to do it.
Well, yeah, I probably sound like my mum when she was going on about O levels when it was changed to A levels.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't have that. We had shillings. Did you? All right, fucking crack on.
I was gonna say, did you want to do the picks and look at UFC 287 as well?
We should do, shouldn't we?
I think we should do that, because you're actually going away, aren't you?
I'm going to Thailand.
Yeah.
I'm going to Thailand on Saturday for the first time ever. So the shop will be closed.
Yeah.
We'll not record. So I suppose this one will go out.
So you're not back until after this event's happened?
That's right. Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So we should...
I think we should break it down.
Definitely talk about it, because it is a great card.
Yeah, why not, man? So where are we starting? At the bottom or starting at the top?
We'll have a look at all of it. We'll make our picks for the whole thing, but we'll talk about the top few fights.
So we'll go for main card, we'll discuss them, but the bottom we can just do our picks.
Yeah, I think so.
So who have we got? So I think I've already done the graphics for this, right?
Yes.
Yes, I was trying to get ahead of ourselves so that I knew that we were ready. So, oh man, Chris Barnett's graphic. He looks like a really grumpy baby. you know the UFC?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You look like, I don't know if you ever experienced this when you're doing the graphics, the proportion of people is such a strange thing. If someone is stood like a millimetre slightly to the left or to the right, it changes their whole shape.
Yeah.
And you're trying to line them up. You're trying to get them to look like their waistband is at the same place, their chin, their eye.
Yeah, it's impossible.
So some people's heads just seem like...
Yeah, and I remember like Nate Diaz, because he stands like with his shoulders forward, it just throws his whole proportion out.
It's like old football sticker albums. You know, when I had Premier League 95 on Paul Scholes, it was literally a square around his forehead, down his eyes and across his chin. You couldn't see any hair, any ears. It was like this. And everyone else, they were all shoulders and heads. And you're like, who the fuck signed this off?
Yeah.
Who's gone like, Scholesy, click, that'll do, off you go. And he's like, yeah, you sure? And it's like, yeah, it's just your face. I don't get it. And I don't know, I'm dead fucking anal.
No, I know what you mean. It depends, I suppose, when they take the pictures and
it's just different
setups and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Barnett's a big dude. but
Yeah.
short as in
Yeah.
big dude. He's a compact big dude that can do a somersault.
Yeah, I like watching Chris Barnett. He's always
He's a fun
entertaining.
dude, right?
He's funny, yeah. Where are you going?
The thing is,
Well, he's fighting Chase Sherman, sorry. We
yeah, and
mentioned
Chase
that,
Sherman's
yeah.
quite a long dude that can. He's got decent striking.
Yeah,
that
he's
could
good.
hopefully keep him. For Chase, hopefully keep him at bay. I mean, Chase has not looked bad, really. He's looked like he's
Chase is coming off a loss. He's not had a great run of late.
no, but he's. I mean, it's one of them. What we're getting, rear naked, lost decision. Yeah, he's lost his way a bit, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I think Chris Barnett's coming off
He's coming off a
win.
win.
Yeah, he beat
Yeah.
Jake Collier. Yeah, because he got that mad wheel kick. His first was that
Against
his
John
first,
Vellante, yeah.
Jean Vellante. Then he lost that weird. Was he injured in that fight?
Oh, I
Or
remember
was
that.
it an illegal
Something.
Yeah, I
it
can't
wasn't-
remember. Martin Boudet?
Yeah, so maybe we're going with Chase, or maybe we're going with
Yeah, I think
with Chris.
Chris is going to take that one. Yeah.
Okay, who's next? Sam Hughes.
Jacqueline Amorim.
Jacqueline Amorim. Okay, bring him up. So what we're saying with Sam
Amorim.
Hughes?
Sam Hughes. I don't think she's fought.
Okay, so
Yeah,
she's
she's coming off a loss. She's had a decent run so far. She goes to win over Estela Nunes, win over Elise Reed, and then lost to Pierre Rodriguez.
lost her debut to Tisha Torres,
Yeah.
which is no big like. That's not
She's
a
very
big loss.
quiet, Sam Hughes.
Is she?
Yeah, when she was being interviewed, she's really shy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So she just does her talking in the cage.
yes.
Oh,
And Jacqueline Amorim
6-0.
obviously looks pretty good.
but this is
Coming on a
this is her debut.
Yeah, this is her first fight in the UFC.
Okay.
Fighting out of ATT.
There's a lot of attributes to that, isn't there?
Yeah. I think
Jacqueline.
yeah. It seems like a good opportunity for her to come in and face someone like Sam Hughes and impress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we're both going Jacqueline. Mershart. I do like Gerald Mershart.
Yeah, and Joseph, would you say
Pfeiffer?
Pfeiffer?
Yeah.
Pfeiffer?
Definitely Pfeiffer.
Pfeiffer.
Jakob.
Oh, shit. Yeah,
Okay,
Gerald.
So what's
Mershart.
Gerald? So let's see Gerald's record. Okay. So he's lost to Jotko, who's also fighting this
He's
weekend.
actually had a decent run
He has, man.
of late. Because obviously
He's only
after
lost a
that
decision.
loss against Hamzat,
Win,
it
win,
does seem...
win.
Because I mean, he's been in the UFC for a long time, hasn't he?
Yes.
2017. And he didn't have the first... But he's fought, like, you know, the people he's lost against at, like, high level. And obviously he had that fight against Hamzat and just got absolutely...
And that's when Hamzat was a
Pounced
little bit,
on.
not under the radar, but he was like,
Yeah, it was
we're
his
feeding you to him.
second...
Yeah.
No, sorry, third fight. Because he'd
Yeah.
basically choked, mauled Reese McKee and... what's his name? Welsh, John Phillips. And then came against Mershart and finished him on like
Yeah.
5 seconds.
And Mershart was like, he's not going to do that to me.
And
he did.
but then since then, Mershart has been he had a 3 fight win streak, then
Decision
lost to
loss.
Yotko, and who is fighting on PFL.
Yeah.
And then he's coming off a win against Bruno Silva.
Guillotine.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so who's he against? That was the wrong tab.
That was the wrong tab. And he's fighting Joseph Pfeiffer, who is on a 4-fight win streak. He won his debut against Alan Amedovsky.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So you're taking? Who are you going for in this one?
I'm going to go for Mershart.
I was going to go
I
for
think
Mershart.
he's got a lot of experience
Yeah. He's got the miles, hasn't he?
and he seems to be on a good run of form recently. So yeah, I'm going to go for Mershart.
Did you see, just bringing up the Kelvin Gastelum against Chris Curtis, did you see all the issues that Chris Curtis was having with the fact that Rosa is above him on the card, Raul Rosa Jr.?
Oh yeah.
He was fuming.
Yeah, he was. I mean, to be honest, Kelvin Gastelum, Chris Curtis, I would put that on the main card.
Or he's headlining the prelims.
Yeah.
Headlining the prelims to me, some people only watch the prelims because it's free. So some people in America, some people over here, they'll watch the prelims. So their main event is that. Some people don't invest in it, some people don't buy it, which is fine. But I can remember when, I think it was Faber. After a while, Faber headlined the prelims and someone said to him, was like, yo, how do you feel about being on the prelims? He was like, oh, good, man. I'm headlining the prelims. But you've got to be on somewhere. And if you're on a numbered card, like some of the numbered cards are so stacked.
Yeah, like
it's
this one.
Yeah, well, like Cody Garbrandt, he was headlining the prelims the other week. And it's still, I consider it still a slot.
Yeah.
But the thing was, he was really fucking not happy. And obviously, Raul Rosas Jr., he's getting it done. He's having a go.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Kelvin, his most recent picture, he looked like he's really embraced his dad bod.
Really?
Yeah. And I don't know. I mean...
Is this it's at middleweight. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Kelvin at one point was... I mean, the fact that he won the Ultimate Fighter when Uriah Hall was in it, killing people, it was terrifying.
The thing is, like, Kelvin Gastelum always gets hard fights, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean...
You could see, like, obviously the loss to Izzy, but that was a war. Till, then Hermansson. But then when he comes up against someone who's slightly lower down in the division, Ian Heinisch, pulls out a win. And Robert Whittaker and Jared Cannonier. I mean,
they're all like champs, or they've fought to be a champ. They're at the top end of the pool.
I think I'm gonna. Do you want? What do you think? You
want
to go
just show me Curtis's record?
All right. Yeah. Sorry. Probably I'm just too one-sided on this one. I think.
Are you going Gastelum?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of them. I mean, Kelvin's a dangerous dude and he can grind it out. And obviously, he's quite heavily muscled.
Yeah.
Not Gastelum.
He's got a wicked, he's got a cool boxing style, Chris Curtis. I like his style.
Yeah, I do like him. I just don't know if he's seasoned or he's got the same experience and to know how to beat someone like Gastelum.
This is going to be a great fight. I just think this is going to be a great fight, both because they've got kind of similar styles anyway, but, boxing. And I just think they're both going to throw down and, be a war.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll take Curtis then.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which, like I say, I mean, I'm happy with either, but I don't mind going against you on that.
That is my potential fight of the night.
Oh, really?
For the prelims.
Okay.
That's my fight of the night for the prelims.
Yeah, well, the Barnett Showman one could be fight of the night as well, because that could last about a minute.
Yeah.
But okay, so Steve Garcia.
Shailean New...
Go on.
Newdamblecki. Okay,
so let's have a look at Steve's.
Damn, Newdamblecki's record, 39-10.
Mate.
Wolverine.
No fucking about. Yeah, and he's
wow, so he's on a good run of form. He lost his debut against Culibao, beat Sean Serrano, beat TJ Brown, beat Derek Minner.
And that's a fight. Derek Minner's he's a fucking game dude, man.
But his record, wow.
Do you recognise any of the names on there?
What, the promotions you mean?
No, just who he's for.
Ah, right. I thought that's not. Is that Alexei Olenek?
Yeah.
Alexei Olenek.
Click him and it'll show you that.
No.
No,
that's not.
It's another Dave Smith. No, he's a different weight class, surely.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
Okay, so we know. So bounce up.
Yeah.
So he's coming off decent finishes.
Yeah, so he's got a lot of experience. He's only 28 and his record's already 39-10.
Yeah. Okay, I can live
That's
with that.
impressive.
Show me the opponent.
So he's fighting Steve Garcia, who is 13-5, and it's Mean Machine. And he is coming off
A win over Chase Hooper. Okay.
What do you reckon?
He lost to Luis Pena. I don't know, it's a tough fight, man. The experience against the I mean, he's had a lot of experience through different organisations as well. Who's he with? Jackson Wink.
Yeah.
It's a solid camp.
Who do you think? Who you
I'll
going
take
for?
Steve Garcia then.
Going for Steve? Yep. All right, I'll go for Nudan Blecky.
Okay.
Nailed that name now. Hopefully, it's probably not even pronounced nothing like that.
No, it's probably something like show.
Michelle Waterson Gomez
Yeah, so the karate hottie.
against Luana Pinheiro.
Mate, at one point, you know, the karate hottie, she was red hot.
Oh, yeah.
Was it Paige Van Zandt or was it Rose that knocked her out with a spinning head kick?
She's not, I mean, she's kind of getting a little bit later into her career now.
Yeah.
She's lost against two top contenders in that division, Amanda Lemos and Marina Rodriguez.
Yeah, didn't Rose knock her out? Or was it rear naked? Oh no, she caught her with
No,
a kick
so yeah,
and rear
because
naked her.
it was the head kick.
Yeah,
and then
she
she
swooped,
jumped on her.
But I mean, losing to Rose, Tisha, they're both solid. I mean, she beat Felice, she beat Courtney Casey, Carolina Kowalczyk.
Yeah, she's always been thereabouts in the division, but never quite, once she's come across the top contenders, never really quite, been able to get over that hill. But, she's coming in against Pinheiro, who is 10-1. She's an up-and-coming contender. She's on an 8-fight win streak. Is it 8 fights? 7? Yeah, 8 wins.
Yeah,
Beat
man.
Sam Hughes, Randa Marcos, and Stephanie Frusto in the Contender Series. Yeah.
I'll take her.
Are you going for Pinheiro?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Don't get me wrong, I like seeing Michelle Waterson, but she's just that karate stance, that style. I don't know if it's she's able to adjust it enough for the competition.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? She seems to be stuck with it, and it's sometimes it works, but more often than not with a game person.
Yeah, I think this is the same situation we've got with the fight lower down with Sam Hughes and Jacqueline as well. Like, it's an opportunity for Pinheiro to kind of
big name,
big name in Michelle, and if she gets win over her, she'll kind of establish herself in the division, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we're both going to go Luana on that.
Yeah.
So the next fight, which is the headline prelim, is Cynthia Calvillo. Calvillo. Yeah. And Lupita Godinez, which I think this is also going to be a wicked fight.
It's going to be a big old
Yeah, because Lupita's like really fast paced, and Cynthia is really tough. Like, she put her outputs a lot.
I've been a big fan of Calvillo.
Yeah.
She's good, man.
She's not had the best run of form recently. She's actually on a 4-fight losing streak.
Yeah.
So I feel like...
Make or break.
Yeah.
Sometimes when
feel like
people's
she
backs are against
needs-
the wall, then they perform.
She needs a win in this division. And Lupita, I think, is coming off... Oh, sorry.
She lost to Angela Hill.
She lost to Angela Hill. But, before that, she had a fairly decent run of form.
Yeah, I mean, it's what do you do? Do you go with it? Do you go on the underdog because she's had 4 losses, and you think there's got to be some fire left in there, or do you go with the?
Or what's your pick?
Calvillo. I think she can pull off the upset.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm going to go
think
for
so.
Lupita then.
Okay, then this is going to be a banger.
Right, so first fight kicking off the main card, Kevin Holland and Ponzinibbio.
Santanigo, Ponzinibbio.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin Holland's looked pretty good since he's come down to welterweight.
Yeah, I mean, he's just exciting, man. I like watching him fight. I mean, I think it was unfortunate they put him against so many grapplers. Like Hamzat, it was kind of disappointing because obviously...
Well, he's 2-2 since I think he's come down to welterweight. But I mean, he's lost to Hamzat and Stephen Thompson.
Yeah, and Brunson and Vittoria, I know it's a different weight class, but they kind of mauled him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I think he realised that he was slightly undersized for that weight class.
And I think Santiago's got the same opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
He could still take him down, but he's also starting standing, and obviously it's a different class. So I'd like to think that Holland's gonna have a word. When did Santiago last fight?
So he fought at the end of last year. He got that win over Alex Morono.
Oh, okay.
I knocked him out
Yeah.
cold. Before that, he'd lost to Pereira and Jeff Neal, but only by decision.
Yeah.
Since he's come back, he's 3-2 because obviously he had a lot of time out, didn't he?
Yeah.
He was on such a good win streak.
Well, I think he got his finger stuck in Connie Nelson's eye.
He was set to fight Kamaru Usman at one point.
Yeah.
And then he fought Neil Magny, won by punch in round 4. And then he had that massive time out, didn't he? Because he had like a weird condition or disease.
I thought
or
you were going to say
something.
disease. He was, one of them.
What was it? Like a bacterial
I can't remember what it was. Yeah, I think it was
thing.
like, not staph, but it was like,
Yeah.
it's pretty bad.
Anyway, he almost died, I think, at
which
one
is
point.
not good.
And then came back against Xing Liang, got sparked in the first round. But then ever since then, he's had a bit of a mixed,
Well, even to go to decision with Michel Pereira. Pereira's an explosive dude.
Yeah. I think Kevin Holland's going to do it here.
I'd like him to. I like Kevin Holland.
Yeah.
I like watching him, but I think it's closer than I want it to be. I think I'd like to see Kevin win, but Ponzinibbio's got a
really
good chance.
good fight though.
Yeah.
Really good fight.
So what are you saying about the young lad?
Raul Rosas Jr. He's fighting Christian Rodriguez.
Is it all hype?
I don't think so.
I don't.
He's 18.
Mate, the thing is, he was on 282. Big, that's a big stage.
Yeah.
And he walked the walk. So I can't really take anything away from him. And I think he's got a lot of belief in himself. I don't think he's overly pumped up or that he's like overly confident.
I mean, Christian Rodriguez is also, bit of a
Solid
hot
dude.
contender as well. And
a man in comparison. How old is he?
25.
A big difference from 18.
Yeah.
You remember being 18 and then being 25. It's
Yeah.
a fucking mile away.
I just look at, Raul Rosas Jr. He fought Jay Perrin in his last fight. Jay Perrin's an experienced guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of hype, a lot of attention around him. I think he's going to pull it off again, to be honest.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to give I'll give Rodriguez a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I think sometimes it's just to see.
And then another, these top 3 fights.
They've got the potential to be awesome.
Yeah.
But I don't want the Burns Masvidal to be just a fucking stalemate.
Yeah.
I don't want it to just be endlessly going for takedowns.
Well,
I know that's a good way to win a fight. But I want to see.
yeah. Well, I
something.
think the thing is, Gilbert always brings the fight, against Hamzat, and the only thing is, I think in Gilbert's approach this time, we've kind of skipped a fight, but Gilbert's approach this time will be a bit more wrestling heavy and
Of
grappling
course.
heavy.
How'd you beat Masvidal?
Yeah.
Take him down and maul him.
Yeah.
That's it. It's dangerous. If you stand with him, look at what he did to Till. Do you know what I mean? Look at what he's done, even to Ben Askren. I mean, people see that and they're like, oh, he's a lucky knee. Mate, he was training. Literally that. He is a master of the game and he's got a lot of tools, but he's getting a bit older and he's obviously not slowing down, but it's a different... When you're up against someone like Burns, who's just this little meatball of pure muscle that is determined to fucking pull you apart. Yeah, it's a big head and heart, that one for me. But I think, we have skipped one. I think I'll probably take Rob Font. Rob Font's looking solid recently. I mean, Yanez is as well, but
I
do
don't know,
like Rob
man.
Font.
You got mini Masvidal before Masvidal.
Yeah.
I think Adrian Yanez is going to do it.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised, but the thing is, I'm a big fan of Rob Font.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
I mean, I'm a big fan of Yanez, but I think if I don't back him, it's not fair.
Well, Rob Font, I mean, what was his last fight? Was it his loss against Cheeto? Yeah.
Yeah. And Aldo. I mean, what?
Yeah.
The fact, I mean, he
I mean, in
Garbrandt.
terms of opposition, but this is a big opportunity for Yanez. I think if he if he beats Rob Font, I think this is like, you know, he'll
got
be a
more to
real
gain.
contender in the division. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And I think he's going to do it. I think he's got a lot of confidence and he's got a lot of ability as well. And he's on a great streak.
Yeah, I mean,
he's not finishing pretty much everyone. Like Davy Grant's tough anyway, but that was a great fight.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tony Kelly, Randy Costa, Gustavo Lopez.
They're different names to what Rob's facing, isn't it? You look at what Rob Font's faced when you've got Aldo and you've got Vera.
So you're going for the experience.
I think so. I think Yanez has got a lot more to gain from what Rob has from this. Because, I mean, Rob to be able to hold his momentum is one thing. But the thing is, he's still circling around that upper echelon anyway. And, I mean...
He looks a lot bigger then than the bantamweight.
Yeah, that was a long while ago, man.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago. Look at his hair.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
It's not really there anymore, is it?
It's like it's gone to italic now. It's an italic font as opposed to bold. It's not bold anymore, is it? So, all right. So I'll take Rob if you're taking Yanez. Who are you taking on Burns Masvidal?
Okay, Burns Masvidal. I'm going to go for Gilbert.
Head says Gilbert. Heart says Masvidal. I like the Masvidal circus. I love a Masvidal fight.
I think now he's got his promotion now. Like
is he 1 foot out?
I don't think he's quite out as like, you know, certain people like McGregor kind of out. Well, he's not out. I mean, like, you know, in terms of like hunger and drive and stuff for that.
I think once you get that fuck you money, it changes a lot of things.
Yeah, and I think Masvidal's I think if Masvidal loses, you know, I don't think he'll ever really be a contender again.
No.
For the division.
No.
But, yeah.
I mean, the whole thing at the minute with Colby and with Leon, have you seen all that where Leon's saying, oh, fuck him, I don't want to fight Colby. The thing is, Colby obviously beat Masvidal. If Leon and Masvidal fight, let's say Masvidal wins, just for argument's sake, Colby's only going to come along anyway and maul him again. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of it is a tricky one, but I don't know. I'm a big fan of Jorge.
Same.
I mean, I respect Gilbert Burns and what he's done, and the fact he's stayed up there for as long as he has is impressive. But
I just think in terms of like mentality, I think Gilbert's
he's still chasing it.
Yeah, he's still chasing it. And
Masvidal's cashed the check.
Jorge's been there twice now.
Yeah.
Obviously, both times against Usman, come off worse. But yeah, I think Gilbert's got a little bit more like left in him in that sense, where, you know, he wants to make another title run.
Well, Masvidal seems to have turned a corner with, like you say, his promotion. He's got his tequila. He's got so many things. Like, this is a guy that lived in his car. Used to fight backyard brawls. You know, to then be crowned essentially, officially the BMF and all the rest of it. It's like there was a little portion where he was just, he was reborn and he was fucking unstoppable.
Yeah.
But it's one of them when you come up against someone with a skill set that's slightly different.
The thing is now, though, I feel like because Leon's the champ now and he's retained it and Usman's out of the picture for the foreseeable anyway, it might have like sparked something in both of these fighters, like especially Gilbert, I think, because he proved that against Hamzat, even though he lost. He proved that he can
fucking going for it.
Yeah,
and it was a decision.
Yeah.
The first time. I mean, that's impressive in itself.
But I mean, I think it could, you know, because that fight between Leon and Masvidal is always going to be there just because of their history and what's happened in the past. So, like we were talking about last week, like Masvidal Leon in terms of like what fight you want to see would be,
Well, you think if Dana is adamant that it's going to be Colby Covington, that's still going to sell because that'll be a numbered event. It could be in England. So he knows that's a guaranteed payday. And when you put it down to pounds and pence, it's not always about what's right. It's what he wants to do to make money. So it could be another 10 fights down the line. The Edwards Masvidal will always sell. Always.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter if it's like Chuck and Tito 3 and it's on some bullshit affliction card or whatever. You're still going to want to see who the fuck was going to have the last laugh with a three-piece and a combo.
I want to see See, this is the thing with Masvidal. I think even if he loses, he doesn't lose any kind of
traction.
No, because I
not at
feel
all.
like you've still got the McGregor fight to make. Now McGregor's talking about moving up to welterweight.
Big
You know,
time.
like imagine McGregor Masvidal. That would be wicked.
Exactly. And it's kind of even because neither of them are going to shoot. They might do, but it's going to be more of a, let's see what you got. And obviously, even when you watch Masvidal against Till, mate, he's as obsessed as McGregor, but you can see he's downloading everything. And literally, he showed a bit to Till, but then when he caught him, it was just, it was money. And Till's a good counter striker.
That was the start of Till's like
Demise.
downhill.
Yeah. And the problem
losing
is,
in London.
was he put up too early? Do you know what I mean? Was he
He'd already
was he
fought
rushed?
for the title by that
Yeah,
point.
fought Woodley. But it is one of them. What do you do? And obviously, always looking back, it's easy to say what you should have done. Hindsight's a motherfucker. But all right, well, I'll take Masvidal just because I'd like him to win.
Yeah, I'll go for Gilbert. Yeah,
That's what we're saying against Pereira and Adesanya.
right. I mean, I I think Pereira's got his number. I think I can't see the only thing is because in the first fight where Izzy caught Pereira, I think it was the end of the second round, and I feel like if there was like another 15 seconds on the round, could have probably finished the fight, but I don't know. There's just I think for me Pereira's got such a presence, and I think
He's like the boogeyman.
being knocked out by him twice now and losing that decision. I'm talking about their kickboxing fights. Like, I just feel like he's got Izzy's number, and I think Izzy's going to have to do a lot or change a lot to get the belt back off him.
Mate, it's scary, the presence of that person, because
Just pull your mic down a little bit, bro. Yeah.
have you seen the size of him?
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
How the fuck he's going to make 185? And the thing is,
But I don't know. I saw a photo that he put up, or one of his coaches put up, is that he's like cutting weight already. Like, I know obviously they diet down, but he looked like he was in one of those little sweat tent things, like he was like the night before he was cutting weight.
dude,
But-
if you're doing that 2 weeks out,
Yeah.
mate, he's huge.
massive.
But Izzy has become accustomed to a certain lifestyle. He's got a great team around him, and he was extremely dominant. What will he take away from that first fight, the first MMA fight, to make sure that he gets the nod this time? Because we've seen it a lot of times with fighters having a certain monkey on their shoulder. There's someone that they can't get past. I think it was Matt Hughes back in the day was beat by Dennis Hallman twice. And Dennis Hallman in the ranks in the world of the time was not really anyone. Like, Matt Hughes was dominant. He was murdering everyone. But Dennis Hallman, he had 2 wins over him. And he was like, he just had his number. And I don't want to think, like with Izzy, with how dynamic he is and how much experience he has and how good he is, it's more interesting to watch the dynamics of it. Has he mentally lost? Did he mentally lose last time? Because he seemed like he was doing all right. He had a good showing of himself. And I don't know if he got tired or if he's just fatigued or what it was, but obviously...
It's just, the only thing is with Izzy, like, obviously he was so dominant for a long time. He went up and fought Jan, but in middleweight, the only thing that I just feel like the difference between Alex Pereira and all the other people in the middleweight is that his like
presence.
Yeah, his presence, but he's got the, like, what's the word? Like, he's like got all the attributes that all the other ones don't. So like, he's tall, he's rangy.
Oh, okay.
Whereas like you got like people like Jared Cannonier, Robert Whittaker, Vittori. They're not all been undersized against Adesanya.
No.
You know what I mean? And Pereira's like the guy, like you said, he's like the boogeyman. He's like bigger than him.
He's the end of level boss, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then he's also got the knockout power, and he's trained in the same area as Izzy as well.
Well, I think what's more scary is if you go to Pereira's record, I mean, bear in mind, Izzy went nearly full 5 rounds. Look, they're not... So, in the UFC, left hook, Bruno Silva was a decision, but then flying knee, mate, it's all... He's looked dominant. But even when you look at his record, who he's fought to beat Adesanya, like, yeah, Bruno Silva, but Sean Strickland was the only real contender that was up there. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, he's got a wicked camp. He's got so much knowledge with Chuck and Glover. Is he going to do it again? Like, the thing is, you see it so many times, this small little gym from Brazil or somewhere like that, where you're fighting for your life, you're fighting for the title, you're fighting for everything. And like you say, I mean, how many times did Izzy defend his belt?
Yeah. Was it 8 times,
8?
I think?
Yeah. I mean, he's kind of been there and done it. Do you know what I mean? So he took it off Robert Whittaker.
Oh, 5, sorry.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Still 5. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just something about Pereira, like you said. It's just his presence, his whole... And they've kind of built him up to be... Because it was always going to happen as soon as you joined the UFC that he was going to eventually face Izzy.
Yeah.
And he skipped a lot of people. He was very impressive, obviously, on his rise up, but he skipped over a lot of people. But the thing is...
The win justifies the skip, right?
Izzy had already beat everyone else in the division, so there was no one really left for him to fight anyway.
Yeah.
He'd beat Whittaker twice, Vittori, Jared Cannonier. He'd ran out of opponents, really.
I mean, when he fought Strickland, that was the thing that made me look up and realise, like, this guy is... Don't get me wrong, as soon as he came in, I was like, he looks like an evil dude. Like, when he had that interview with Ariel and he's just fucking staring, I'm thinking, Ariel's going to melt in a minute. Do you know what I mean? He's kind of intimidating. Well, he's very intimidating. But Sean Strickland isn't a pushover. I know he's batshit crazy, but at the same time, I mean, he hit him like 3 times as he was going down. Do you know?
Yeah.
Like, he just did whatever he wanted. But, like I say, Izzy lasted nearly... I think he was winning the decision.
Yeah.
So I thought Izzy had it, but then either took his foot off the gas or he was tired or for whatever reason. I mean, he got caught. It's not nice.
But this is the thing with Pereira as well. You would assume, because obviously he has to cut a lot of weight to get down to middleweight, his gas tank may not, last 5 rounds as well as other people. So
you were expecting to see Izzy focus on body then?
No, I'm just... What the last fight proved is that Alex Pereira can still knock you out in the fifth round.
Yeah. So is it more important for him to attack legs and body?
I think for Izzy this time around, I mean, I've seen him like focusing on his wrestling and stuff, seen a few bits online. So I don't know if that's an area where he's going to try and kind of get the better of him.
Yeah. Take
him down, control him. But yeah, I mean, check out the War Room with Dan, obviously. He'll explain it a lot.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll explain it a lot better than me. But yeah, I think the thing he's got to do is really focus on taking him down and controlling him and not being able to let him get the shots off on him.
Yeah.
Especially at a close range.
And the subs. I mean, Izzy's got subs. Do you know what I mean?
Izzy has.
Well, he can grapple. He's got more experience in the MMA world of...
He's got more experience in the MMA, but I don't know...
What's Pereira's...
Like, if you... Like, who does he... The thing is with Izzy, like, he'll... The way he'll beat, like, the wrestlers like Vittori and the like is that he's got great takedown defense. But the thing is, if Pereira's not shooting and going to be taking him down, why would he when he knows he can knock him out? And... That's what I'm saying. So Izzy has got to kind of go into that world of wrestling and grinding someone down, because I don't think Pereira's going to take it there.
So who are you taking? Who's your pick?
Pereira.
Okay.
I just think he's got it. I think he's going to...
I think he has, but I think...
I am a big fan of Pereira as well, though.
Yeah, mate.
I love Izzy. I think he's great. But I don't know. It's just... He's like the villain or the bad guy.
Yeah, he definitely is.
Yeah.
I think that Izzy's got the bit between his teeth. I think if he's going to do it, it's got to be now.
He's a special... I wouldn't mind to be honest, who won.
Oh, no, mate.
I would like to see Izzy take the belt back, but I just think Pereira's gonna do it again. Keep hold of it.
It could be just a clean flash knockout. Do you know what I mean? I'm keen to see it. I'd love to see a champ come back from a loss, and especially when the thing's so big like this. Obviously, it's 4, but it's gonna be an absolute banger.
Yeah,
so
it's in Miami as well. Thing is, I've already seen like posts of like Izzy's after show party or whatever.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, what are you doing?
I was just like, oh man,
get on the fight.
Yeah.
I don't know
if that might be totally unrelated to him, but he's I've seen like a poster for a Miami after party thing. But
Pereira is kind of trolling him. Have you seen his socials when he's like, there was a video of Izzy watching, was it Usman lose to Leon? Or it was another fight. It might have been the Yan, and he's falling asleep while it was playing. And like that was his social. And then there's a picture of Pereira just kind of watching him sleep. And it's like, this guy's next level.
Oh, yeah. I think I did see that.
Yeah,
it was Glover filming it. Yeah. He's savage.
Yeah, I mean, head and heart. Head says Pereira, heart. I just like to see Izzy get it back. Even if it means there's another one.
I'm the opposite. I would say the opposite. I'm head Izzy. Because I feel like he could outpoint him.
Okay.
Over the distance.
But you want to see Pereira retain.
But I want to see Pereira retain it.
I think for us as a fan, it gives us a whole new realm of Cannonier, Gastelum, fucking Whitaker.
See, this thing, I think like a guy like Vettori could give Pereira like a real challenge because
his head's made of stone.
Yeah. Like, who did Vettori fight last?
Romanov.
Delidze. Yeah.
Roman Delidze, right? Yeah.
And he's a powerful puncher, and Marvin can just take that.
Well, he just seems to shake it off.
Yeah. But I do feel like someone who's a bit more wrestling heavy, who can take him down and just hold him there, I think would give him. But then I can see after this fight, maybe if Alex wins, going up to light heavyweight.
Yeah.
Something like that. It would be exciting to see him against
imagine
Yuri.
him going to even if he goes up now against Hill.
Yeah.
I would be worried for anyone who he's fighting. He just, I don't know, he just seems like he's not a materialistic Gucci suit wearing Rolls Royce driving motherfucker. He seems like he appreciates what he's got, and he's a man of little means.
Yeah.
So when he's that focused, it's kind of terrifying because sometimes you need them to be distracted, so it gives you a bit of an in.
Yeah.
But he's not a distracted dude. But I'd still like to see as you get it back.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, man. What else we got? We've done, what's that? 1 hour 50.
Yeah. I mean, we spoke about the fights this week, and obviously there's no UFC this weekend, but there is the PFL fight.
Yeah.
And you're going to be away for a couple of weeks now, so this will be the last podcast for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, so I'm back, I think the 15th, 14th.
Yeah. So we'll do a recap.
Following week, we'll catch up.
Yeah, we'll do a recap of this card. So yeah.
But let us know your thoughts. Let us know your thoughts on the PFL this week. Let us know on your thoughts on the 287 next week. Yeah, keep in touch, man. We appreciate your comments and your support, and we'll get back to you, and we'll have a bit of a chat in the comment section.
Yeah, check out the sponsor New Shirt as well, newshirt.co.uk. They got some really cool t-shirts. Especially the new ones.
Yeah, I love the headshot with the Public Enemy. So New Shirt and Full Reptile. Like I say, I'm away. Today is Tuesday. We'll probably have this up Wednesday. So if you need to order something, get it in the next couple of days before I shut the shop, if there's something you need while you're going away or whatever, and I can make sure that I get it out to you.
Nice.
Wicked, man. Pleasure as always.
Yep, you too, man. Take care.
Take it easy, dude.
I felt like a reptile. I felt like a reptile.